Hey, Hannah, I bought something. I need you to write me a check.
Well, you said we didn't have enough tractor. Well, there you go.
It doesn't have duals on it. Post driver right there.
Problem is, I'm having a really hard time here not being stupid and looking at some of this stuff going. Can't afford that. That's good. Actually, another 1,000 meal on that top. I wish I would have bought that one up at Mount Order.
That auger's in a lot better condition than ours.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of small, though, I think.
It's narrower, but it's taller than ours, isn't it?
100 bushel.
Yeah, we might as well look at everything while we're here.
There, Dad said you wanted a spreader. Is that a slinger?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. I didn't know Deere had a slinger.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, things will go for stupid expensive tomorrow because they got a nice rain to wash all the dust off of everything.
Lot of truth to that. Really shouldn't. Really
Be here?
No.
Really shouldn't
I
be
shouldn't.
here?
This is a bad idea. I really.
Wonder how wide that disc is.
I'd say probably 30 foot. It's
Looks like the VT.
yeah. It looks taller than mine. Actually, this kind of caught my attention.
What?
It's older, it looks rougher, but this Deere chisel. Ah, never mind. Oh, look, a disc for the 79.
Floor looks brand new.
Doesn't look like it's been rolled up.
82 could.
Doesn't say the width though. 24 foot.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like 25.
Looks nice inside.
What's the hour meter say?
8,000.
Oof.
That's great. That ain't right though. They never had that.
$13,000. Calling it.
So it makes it different than the one I had is this is a narrower spacing. Mine was 9-inch. Look at the rims. They just, you can tell that they're rotten. They just
Covered them up.
Yeah, poor job of spraying them.
One white on the inside.
I don't know. It actually might be a little bit of a surprise. You watch this sale.
We didn't end up going to the Scott auction because I'm the kind of guy who lets my wife handle the checkbook so that I don't make any sudden, rash decisions. Hey, Hannah, I bought something. I need you to write me a check.
Watch forklift.
Oh, it's a rough life, huh? It's a rough. Decent price. You'll use it.
Oh, yeah. Fall right down.
Rocket's ready to go.
Let's go, let's go.
Hey, sick. Go ahead and run them. We're rocket.
Look at this. It looks like it's been melted.
Yeah, same thing over here. We're back home now with Hannah and I's new to us John Deere 825i Gator. So this is a 2014 model. The one we have over at the farm is, I believe, a 16. And it has a few different options than the one that mom and dad ordered new from the factory. So this one has bucket seats as compared to the bench seat, which to me, I would rather have the bench seat because you can fit one more, probably a little bit more on the littler side of a person in between us. So that way, if you got the kids, you can, move one more person around. So I did like the bench seat in the other Gator. That's one of my big things about it. But it didn't turn me away from this one. So I saw this when we were browsing the lot. I didn't get a chance to get up close to it. It was raining, and at the time I glanced at it, saw it, but we're like, nah, got to keep moving. So I saw it go up for auction. I asked Hannah, it's like, what do you think a John Deere Gator is worth? And she said, well, 8, at most 10,000. And that's what I bid, was 10,250. I was going to quit at 10, but Dad's like, one more. And yep, sure enough, the other guy must have had a hard limit of 10,000. There was a 2018 Polaris with, I believe, more hours on it that sold for 12,000. And we've been using our Gator at the farm. We've had our issues with it here and there, but otherwise it's treated us good. We've really put it through the ringer, I would say, with all the different things that we use it for. It literally gets run every single day. And I've been wanting a UTV for a while because you can haul more stuff with it as compared to an ATV. I'm not getting rid of my ATV because I still firmly believe that is like most necessary for chasing cattle when they get out. You just can't replace an ATV with a UTV. They're just not as nimble. But I plan on driving this. Right now I'm thinking all summer long I'll probably end up taking this to the farm, because last year I got those ATV, UTV gate crossings. I would like to set those up and then just go through the pasture on the way to the farm and on my way home every day this summer. And that way I can get out, check on the cows twice a day without even having to get out of the Gator, which I think getting off a UTV is a little bit easier than getting off a four-wheeler. So it's just going to be extremely convenient for me to hop in this and go check on the cows. One thing I found is that the easier you make it on yourself to go check cows, the more often you will do it, because if you get home from the farm after a long day, you're a lot less apt to go, oh crap, I got to go through 3 different gates just to go through the pasture. And for me, I found that having those ATV crossings really helped with me getting out and checking on the cows. So I'm looking forward to having this to go check on them every day. And then what I'm going to do is have fencing materials probably the rest of the time that the sprayer isn't in this. And that way, if I see anything that needs to get fixed, I have the stuff with me. There's been a lot of times where I've been out on the four-wheeler, just running the dogs and checking on the cows, and I've come across a spot where the fence is broken. It's like, well, got to come back and fix that later. But if I can just carry around the stuff with me more often, I mean, I don't imagine this thing's bed is going to be empty very often. So let's go around and talk a little bit more about the different features that this thing's got on it. So this is a used unit. There are a couple things that I would like to get fixed. I priced out different parts and stuff, and I'd like to put roughly $700, $800 worth of parts in it, because there's a couple things that I'm not going to put up with. The first and foremost being the door handle is missing the lock on it. You can see that the lock part is missing, so it's still fully functional, but when you put your finger on that, it's kind of hard on the finger. So I'm going to get a new door handle. Everything outside, for the most part, is good. There's a couple things in the cab that I think the cab needs. So there's supposed to be a foam liner in here to help seal it up. I'd like to get that on both sides. There's supposed to be a bolt here to help hold this piece firm, and a spacer. So I might get that just to help keep the foam in place. You can see the old foam. There's a piece of it left down in here. That's completely gone. So on this side, the cylinder's pretty well shot. I'd like to get a new one of them because the door's just flopping around on here. Nothing we haven't changed on the other Gator. Missing some fins out of there, but that's not really fixable, or not something that I'm caring about fixing for now. Over on the windshield, it's supposed to have two fingers that stick out on this. The one is broke off up on top, so there's only one latch holding the windshield closed. I'd like to get a new one of these. Up on top, looking at the switches, we've got our windshield wiper, our front and our back lights. I'd like to replace these two switches because I don't know why they do that. We don't see that too often on stuff that we run, but I've noticed that on used equipment, you tend to see those punched out and not in there. So for whatever reason, they're missing. One thing that we noticed after I bought it, and you can draw your conclusions as to what happened there, but this whole bottom piece looks like, in my opinion, that the heater assembly down here, so the coolant gets pushed through this, and this is where the heater gets the heat from, is off the coolant coming off the motor. And to me, it looks like there was either a fire or something happened down in here, and this whole lower console looks like the rhino liner for how it's rough. And that goes all the way over to the steering column and onto the back side of the steering wheel. Nothing that I'm going to replace, but that's something that I noticed after I had bought it because I didn't get a good chance to look at it up close and personal. It's kind of the risk you take when you look at stuff online. Another thing is that this is me really scrutinizing this thing, is that the glass on the display is cracked. Not fixable. We actually looked up the price of this because I was curious, and I want to say it was over $800, or right around that $800 mark. So again, not something that I'm looking to replace. It's a functioning UTV, and that's all I really want. And there's just a few quality of life things that I want to replace. The door hinges, the one on top's okay, but this door hinge looks like it was really beat up. So I'd like to get new bolts, whatever it needs to fill that hole. Same thing on this side. Dad's got a good idea. He wants me to take this off and sand all this down and spray paint it with just a black gloss paint. And I think that latch will look a lot better. Coming down here, there's like a spacer or something missing behind this cylinder on the door side. I'm worried long term about that damaging or cracking the glass out because there's no buffer there at all. It's just metal on glass. So like to replace that. But otherwise, at least from what I've seen, I think I got a pretty good deal on it. Looking back on the corner, this is punched out. Not life ending, but just another thing that I noticed after I bought it. I like that it's got the back bumper a little bit scratched up and dented up, but did its job. We got a crack here on the tailgate. Otherwise, underneath, there's a little bit of rust, but I don't think it's any worse than what we've got on the one over at the farm. So this unit actually has a radio, which I think is cool. Can't say that I totally missed it on the other Gator, but I mean, on days when we're fixing fence, it'll be nice to have. Got the radio down there. It works pretty good. One speaker on each side. I don't really care for the placement because you're already kind of short on legroom. I don't know if it's just the design of these seats or if it's just the older design on the Gators, but legroom to me feels kind of small compared to our other one. In place of the bench seat, we have this little storage cubby, and there's a 12-volt outlet down in here, so it's got an extra outlet, which I like. That's nice. I looked underneath the seats, and it's a little dusty under there, but we pulled it back earlier and saw that these are, in fact, the John Deere bucket seats that come on these things. So there's two other features that this thing has over our other Gator at the farm. Well, besides the little antenna for the radio, it also has a power dump, which is a $1,000 feature from the factory. That's nice. Don't think I'll use it all that often, but it is neat that it's got it. This thing has four-wheel drive just like our other one, and then it's also got a horn. Other than that, this unit is pretty much the exact same as our one at the farm. So there's a few reasons that I wanted a UTV of my own. One of the reasons being, for example, right now Travis is using the farmer's Gator to run around and do field boundaries with the Ag Leader globe and monitor. And while he's doing that, in the past, what we've done is we've taken the fencing supplies out of the Gator so he can go run boundaries. And then on the days where he's not running boundaries, we throw the stuff back in and go check fences. Well, having two Gators this time of year, for example, I'll be able to leave the fencing materials in the back of this thing and go check fences. The second reason being is like during the summer, for example, also, in the past, we end up taking the sprayer out of the other Gator all the time. We put it in, take it out. And having another Gator will be handy because probably through the first part of the summer, I'm going to leave the sprayer in the back of this thing. So if I want to mix up a load of spray and spray the fence edges, usually what we'll do is we'll load up a load of 2,4-D and go spray the pasture edges and try to kill off any of the trees that are coming up in the fence lines. Having this now, I'll be able to leave the sprayer in there. I'll be able to mix up a load more regularly, and hopefully do a better job at combating some of the stuff that's coming up out in the pastures. And then thirdly, not the biggest reasons why I wanted a Gator, but probably one of the more important ones is that Rocket's starting to get a little bit older, and he's getting up to the age where he's not going on runs with us anymore throughout the pasture. He still does. If he wants to, I'll let him, but there's been times where he's ran with us all the way out to the far edge of the farm and then decided, nope, not doing it, and he just plops right down. So he's done pretty good riding in the side of the four-wheeler, but let's say I want to ride or take this over to the farm during the summer months, and the dogs want to run with me. With the ATV, I had to come back home and leave the dogs here. Well, now if they want to follow me out, I'll be able to just load them up into the back and take them over to the farm. So I think it'll be a time saver for me. It'll be nice being able to carry around the fencing materials and the chainsaw. In the past, there's been so many times where I've been out on the four-wheeler and gone, if I just had the chainsaw, I could cut off a tree on the fence and whatnot. So I think I'll definitely get my use out of it. And I'm not looking at keeping this for probably more than 10 years. I would like to eventually upgrade. And this is just I saw it, Thought it went for a decent price, and I still think that I got a pretty good deal out of it. Throwing $1,000 in parts at it, I think will get it up to our level of standard for the equipment on the farm. But otherwise, I mean, it looks like a good unit. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, all how farms work. And with that, I'll see you next time.